There are many options that people have, and many options that people are definitely not aware of. So let's start at one of the latest issues where people have crossed the border basically during the Biden administration. So if you entered the border, whether you turned yourself in or you're arrested by immigration, and you applied for asylum within 6 months of your entry, most people did at the time they entered. But if you were released and you didn't apply and you waited more than 6 months, you're out of luck. But if you applied within 6 months of your entry, that means that you have never acquired unlawful presence in the United States. So if you haven't acquired unlawful presence, you could be sponsored through a job with any job you're doing, whether it's in construction, whether it's in a restaurant as a cook, you could be a baker, you could be a painter, you can be an engineer, an architect, almost any occupation you could think of, a teacher. There's many, thousands, in fact. So you could get sponsored through your employer if your employer is willing to help you. So the problem we confront are if people were stopped at the border, they're in removal proceedings, and that means they have to see an immigration judge. But when you see an immigration judge, before filing for asylum, what you should do is ask the judge for voluntary departure to leave the United States. If you leave the United States voluntarily without being deported, you are not subject to the bars for unlawful presence. So if you stay illegally more than 1 year, you're barred for 10 years from coming back. If you stayed illegally 6 months, you're barred for 3 years. But if you applied for asylum at the border, you never acquired unlawful presence. So therefore, you can get sponsored through a job. When you go see a judge, you tell the judge, I just want to leave the country, go back to my country. The case will continue in process, and you will be able to get your residence through that employment sponsor.